We have new kittens. This is the baby. This is Small Beans. And she has quite the name to live up to.
Yuriko.
Lady Yuriko Deathstrike. For such a little one. Such a little... She's trying to run away. She's trying to run. This is my husband.
Hi.
Hi. The man who never shows up on my channel. But this is his baby. And there we go. Give her back to Daddy. There we go. We found her because she screams so loud. She was up at the front of the building. We're in the back of the building, and he heard her from all the way back here. Went and found her, and she was apparently abandoned, from what we can tell. That's all we know. Went ahead and took her in. So we have way more cats than what we had intended to have at this time. But that seems to be a normal thing for us. So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug says, of all the vaginas in the world, I'm so glad I tumbled out of yours. This was a Mother's Day gift from my middle daughter. And been trying to find the appropriate time to use it. Appropriate? The problem being you don't want something like this for a brand video, a brand specific video. And yeah, so here we are. It is just all writing. It has a black handle. It's cute. I'm not sure how often you'll be seeing this on the channel, but anyway, it's completely within my daughter's humor. It is. Anyway, today's tea is the Stash Spiced Dragon Red Chai. This has 100% natural ingredients. Cinnamon, rooibos, ginger root, and clove. This is a tea that I normally use to mix in with one of my chocolates, so I get sort of a Mexican chocolate type tea. I'm having it by itself today. It is double bagged. I can't remember if this gets particularly spicy. I don't think it does. It might because of the ginger. Ginger tends to put on a little heat. We'll give her a sip and we will get started. It's hot temperature wise. Yeah, it needs a little bit more time. Starting to get a little bit of flavor in there. Whoa. Just had a minor tea spillage disaster. Very minor. It cleaned up, didn't get on anything. Which brings me to another point. If you all know, as I open things, we wobble. I am getting a new table very, very soon. Possibly by the time that you guys see this, I will have gotten the new table, hopefully. Amazon has been shipping fairly quickly. So that's been nice. But I am getting a new table that's going to be much sturdier than what I'm using right now. Right, I'm using right now is a card table. So we're going to be transferring everything over to the new table, which is going to be a bit longer and I do believe a bit wider. So we will have a bit more space and a lot less of the wobble, hopefully. We are kind of on a wobbly, well, I think it's all on the table. It's on the table's fault. I believe it's all the table's fault. But at any rate, if you're interested in seeing me do the switch over, I won't necessarily show you me putting the table together. It's just putting a table together because it's guaranteed to come in pieces. But if you're interested in seeing me doing the switch over, please let me know down below. And I will make sure to film pulling everything out of here, putting in the new table, putting up the new lights, the old lights, if they'll fit on the new table, which is a big concern at this point. I am not sure if we can be able to get I'm using my plant lights to do flashback, and not sure we'll be able to fit them over the edge of the table, but we'll see. We'll see together, maybe, if that's what you're interested in. At any rate, for today, getting away from that little diversion, for today, we are doing the Shop by Stash that's coming for June. Can't believe we're halfway through. I'm kind of glad we're halfway through. I'm sure a lot of you are glad we're halfway through. The year has been... Well, let's see. We've had plague. We have cicadas or locusts. There have been fires. There have been, yeah, there's things. There's lots of things going on. All of them just like, we're just waiting for the zombie apocalypse now. At any rate, It is almost June, so we're getting ready for June. We're going to be doing a shop my stash, but first we're going to talk about the stuff that's already in my stash and what's going to stay and what's going to go. And I'm starting with the stuff that go in my little makeup basket for my details down below and my makeup look. So the Spacecase bronzer, I'm enjoying this bronzer. I do hope to start walking soon. I do not know if that's going to do anything to my coloring, just because like this week is all clouds. We may end up with just weeks and weeks, this whole summer being rain. It does cross over to hurricane season, so, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this one in and then probably pick up a darker one to add to it. This Fenty Beauty highlighter got added mid-month. I am wearing it over another highlighter today. I'm going to keep that in for now. I'm enjoying playing with it. It's beautiful. It is more of a glitter highlighter, and if you put this on, you can shine in the high heavens. I think that's one of the reasons why people love it so much. I have two OFRA things in there. I have this Madison Miller compact, and I have this with blushes and highlighters. I think I'm going to switch these out, because we're going into summer, so I want something with more warmth. These are nice and rosy toned, but when we start heading into summer, I notice I'm leaning towards stuff that even if it's rosy, it has more of a peachy cast to it. So probably going to put both of these back. We will see towards the end. This Volumist, L'Oreal Volumist, this is going to stay in. This is my new lash base I've been using. The Thrive will be going. This is actually, I opened this in December. June is 6 months since I opened it, so this is actually going to go into my Reverse Rouge bucket after I do all my things today, because it's time. It did 6 months. I should have put it out at the beginning of May, but I wanted to try to use it up. So here we are. Not quite used up, but it's going to go out. The Girlactic, keeping it, still trying to use this up. Still trying to use up the Mellow, so that will stay in. The Juicy Fruit. Now, this has been an interesting palette to work with. I haven't done anything just with the palette. And a lot of that's because it's almost all mattes. I think we've got one satin, two satins in here, and that's about it. They have a slight shine to them. It's decent pigmentation. I haven't used any of these. Still kind of playing around with it. I think I'm almost ready to give a full review on it. But I'm going to keep it in for now and continue to play with it a bit. These two also got added late, one later than the other. And that is my Lethal Cosmetics palettes. I added this about second week, maybe, yeah, towards the end of the first week or somewhere in the middle of the second week. So I'm going to keep that in. And then my newest palette I'm also going to keep in. For anybody who wanted an update on what was going on with this shade, they basically gave me a refund for it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. I still have the shade. It is still usable. It's just they went ahead and gave me money back, and that's fine. As long as I can use the shade. It's not like it's completely shattered into little bits. And it fits in the palette. Used it today. And yeah, so we're going to keep all of that in our drawer today. Also in the drawer, there's way too much. So this Certify palette, I'm taking this out, putting it back in my bottom drawer where my new palettes that I'm still playing around with go. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I've played with it I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's going to go back in my bottom drawer. This Jackie Aina palette, I actually have not used this. I think I used it once this month. But I'm going to go ahead and put her back away. And this Smoke and Mirrors, considering what I'm thinking about pulling into my drawer this time, I'm going to put this one away. And then I also have this Black Radiance palette. For a drugstore palette, it's pretty good. I'm not totally impressed. This if you see all that glitter on there, you can see that that's an overspray. That was very disappointing. I have most of these colors in other palettes. I'm actually just going to go ahead. I'm not even going to review this. I'm just going to put it in my Project Beauty Share and just not. It's okay, but I have other colors. I never use it. I don't pick it up. All right, so this Maybelline will stay in there because I'm using that up. This little IBY is going to be taken out. I think I'm going to pick up one of my actual highlighter palettes rather than individual highlights. Tried to use this a couple times as a finishing powder. Don't think it works. We're going to take it out for now. I have both these voluminous mascaras. I'm going to take them out. I have been enjoying using them, but I'm going to take them out and just set them off to the side and use them haphazardly. They're not at a point where I need to get rid of them. They're real. I need to keep in there. That one I need to start getting rid of. As usual, my Urban Decay. Also, as usual, the NYX Glitter Glue. I have not been doing glitter. I did it a couple times, but we're going to keep... Actually, you know what? We'll take this out, and when we need to use it, we'll use it. It's another one that I don't need to use up right away. I still have all this EBIN New York stuff that I'm still trying to get to review. So those will stay in. Still haven't used the Bobbi Brown, so it will stay in. I'm not sure how I feel about the NYX Brights. It will stay in. I've had some issues with the way it applies, so I basically feel like I need a different kind of container for it. This Lancome mascara that goes with the old mascara base I had, I'll keep that in. I'm going to try to use that up fairly as well as I can. I'm done trying. This is going out. I'm going to give this to my daughter. I never pick it up. It's been in there for 3 months at least. And yeah, if I don't hand it off to her, it will never get used. It will get tossed. This YC collection powder, I am actually going to keep in there. I'm enjoying this. I just picked up a full size of it, along with a few other things of theirs. Still working on my Milani banana powder, so that will stay in there. Going to keep the e.l.f. in there. I haven't used it much, but I haven't really felt like I've needed to darken my edges much, so we'll just keep that in there. This Pretty Vulgar. This is a matte mattifying powder, and I am beginning to realize that with menopause, my skin has changed enough that mattifying powders do not work. They make me look dry as the Sahara. So this is actually going to go with the Ciate to my daughter. So yes, those will be out of here. The Artist Couture, I've used it a couple times. I don't know. I'm going to put this in the middle as an I don't know for now. The ColourPop, going to go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so let me go ahead and put things back and put things away, and then we will start looking around. We're not going to get into my sample drawer. The room is a bit of a mess right now. I mean, seriously, it's a mess. I'm hoping the table will help when I get it. I can move some things around, and I will have more space for some things on the table and that kind of thing. But right now, we've got a mess. It's a huge mess. So hopefully you guys might see the edges of it. Don't judge me. Anyway, going to go ahead and put these away, and then we will get to turn around and start picking out some new things. Alrighty, so we are going to start with our bottom drawer. I'm pulling in my Radioactive palette. I did use it a little bit today, so it has to go in the blue basket, but I'm going to do that. This is one my daughter picked up for me. So neutral. But we're going to give it a try. It is a Zoeva. I've been wanting to try the Zoeva, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. And then last from here right now, this was recommended by my middle daughter. This is the Color Me Up palette from Glammed Cat, Glam to Buy Cat. There we go. So I'm going to put that in to play around with, and that's it from our palettes from here. Probably won't bring in any other palettes because on top of that I will have the 2 Lethal Cosmetics and the Juicy Fruit. So that will be an awful lot of palettes. So we're just going to stick with those for now. I won't even look at my palette drawers. Alrighty, over here I have so much new stuff. I have new stuff. So much new stuff. Okay, so I got the JD Glows, and I think I'm going to put the white. Wow. Well, I want the silver in there. Let's put you down here where you can see it. I want the silver. And I want the blue. We'll do those. And I've used them a few times, but I'm going to go ahead. Well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and snag this Naked Pressed Pigment, which is in a beautiful color. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. And don't need another eyeliner yet. I don't think. I don't know why this is in here. Oh, that's J-Cat. So we'll go ahead and put that particular lipstick in there. And that gloss. You know what? I'm getting ready to start some other, I've got another BB cream and a foundation coming in, so we will give this a try. I think this is too dark, but we will play with it. We'll look like a fool, but we'll play with that. So we'll put that in there as well. Then we go over to the drawers. Hello, my drawers. And up here we have highlighter and powders. Don't need a powder right now. Very happy with the powder I have. Oh my goodness. Highlighters. What do I want? Do I want you? No, I don't want the Morphe either. And I think the other colors in this, sorry, I keep going off. The other colors in this are too dark. We're not there yet. This would be July or August if I'm there. So, we'll take this OFRA Sea Shimmer. She's pretty. So we'll take that one. I'll take the Kaleido. Which I'll show you later. I can't get it open with one hand. And nope, I'm going to put the Kaleido back. I am going to go ahead and use this NYX. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the OFRA as well. This one has quite a bit of variety. It's the first palette that showed me that I could wear a purple highlight. So I really like this. That was going to go in. That's going to go in. All right. So next we have Blush. Going to take my Melon. This is a beautiful color. I love it. And that's more of a peachy rose or a rosy peach. And this one is more of a kind of a peachy rose. So I'm going to take that Laura Geller. And for in the middle, what are you? Oh, you're deep. But I don't think this goes on deep. You know what? We'll take that Ciate. So that'll be our blushes. And this will be my, as I recall, that will be primarily, it's got a couple highlights in it, but that I'm going to take that primarily for the bronzers. I can use them as I deepen up. So that's my bronzers. Piling things up. Okay, so we're not going to look down in these two drawers. That's where my eyeshadow palettes are. Like I said, I think I have more than enough of that right now. Do I want anything out of here? Where are you? That's my miscellaneous loose ones. No. And I think that one is loose ones too. I think. Are you? That one's empty. Okay. I am gonna snag my Vanessa Vanity. This is in Angel Wings. I'm gonna grab that. The other highlighters I have actually do not go that bright, other than the Fenty, so we'll take this one. And I think that's going to be it out of this drawer, which means we're pretty much done. I have a stack of stuff. All right, so going to get you all switched around, and that one foundation shade, I'll do some swatching with that, and I'll get everything put in, and yeah. We'll have to do one more switcheroo to show you the drawer. It won't be completely full because I have a bunch of stuff in the basket, but I guess I could take the stuff out of the basket to show you everything that's in there. Not that you really need to. But anyway, so we have going in, we have this bronzer, mostly for the bronzers, even though it's got a couple of highlighters, which, you know, honestly, nah, that color's different. But you know what? I think I'm going to keep those and put this one back. I just didn't want to have a whole bunch of single highlighters, and there was several of them in there. And I think this one's comparable to the Kaleidos, and then that's a nice light shade. Anyway, so this one is a shade I can wear now. This is as I get darker, and this is something that would be very summer, late summer color, but it makes it a good palette to have right now because I'm planning to start walking, and if I do indeed get darker, then I can adjust my bronzer as needed. And then of course it has the two highlight shades, so that is going in here. You fit. And then I have an extra highlighter in the OFRA time Madison Miller collab. That's a beautiful highlighter. I will put that in there. And then we get to blush. So we have some beautiful blushes here in varying shades. We have this beautiful peach that I'm going to throw in. This one's more of an orangey peach. Like I said, when it gets towards summer, these are colors that I gravitate towards. It has kind of a peachy sheen, and I know you can barely see it on my skin right there, but it does build up nicely. And then we have the Laura Geller, which is more pink with sort of a peachy cast to it. Again, you're not going to really be able to see it on my skin very well. The colors are very, very similar. One's just more of a pink, the other one's more of a peach. Then we have the Ciate, which is our dustier, deeper cousin of all of these, more of a pink. So these are all very nice. They actually do show up when I use them. I build them up. That's fine with me. I have the Color Me Up palette. I did do some swatching of this when, didn't mean to blind you. Did do some swatching of this when I first opened it. Really excited to start playing with it. And we're going to have the Radioactive palette, which I used a little bit of today. not a lot, like one shade, but we've used that. And then also my Zoeva Spice of Life. We're going to give, this is mostly so I can test out the Zoeva formula. There was another palette that I really wanted. This actually runs a little neutral for me, but she's pretty. She does have some nice colors in there. I just, in the images I saw, this one and this one looked a little bit more red. And of course we have the bronzy colors that I sometimes use in the lighter highlighter. So I'm a little disappointed with the images versus what I got, because this really is a little neutral, but we'll play around with it, see how it goes. All right, so you've all seen this one before. That's the Vanessa Vanity that's going in there. Here's the Naked Cosmetics. I've actually used this a couple of times. I'm going to go ahead and use it again and then eventually throw it into a an MTZ palette type thing. And then these are the JD Glows. I did swatch these when I opened them. I've already used the silver one once. I think my biggest problem right now is the brush. So I'm going to have to figure out if there's a way that I can get to the product inside without using the brush that they provide, because yeah, it's a problem for me. A little bit of a problem for me. This is the gloss. I've actually used this gloss a few times. I do have to be careful with it because it is actually a clear gloss. It's a clear, shiny, sparkly gloss. So I have to clean the end frequently. And as you can see, it's got kind of a purpley look to it because that's what I used it on at one point. And this is the J. Cat's Flash Metal in a purple. This is another lipstick I've been wanting to play with a little bit. She's quite pretty. It's my purples and burgundies. So there's that. All right, so the big question mark of the day is the Perlice. And I do think that this is a bit dark. Might be, may not be. Here we go. Got it on my finger. What are you looking like? Looking like we might be able to use you. I must have been getting some sun sometime, because I think when I first pulled this out, I was like, whoa, that is too dark. It's a little off. We'll go ahead and play with it. Like I said, I do have I have a couple of other foundations coming in, so I'm almost ready to start and do another foundation review. So I'm using that now. She is a bit on the orangey side. I don't know if you can see that. She's a bit on the orangey side, but I'll use it mostly for like when I'm doing my Facebook lives. I can look like a crazy woman on those. I try not to look like too crazy on this, although I guess we're a little dramatic today, and some people would consider that crazy. All right, so give me a minute and we'll switch you all around again, and I will show you my drawer. I will take the stuff out of my basket, throw that into, so you can see how full it's going to be. All righty, so there is the full drawer. A lot of palettes, but I think relatively manageable. I think this actually is this is comfortable for me. I don't see myself using the Zoeva very much because it is so neutral, but I can at least try some colors from it. We've got the Radioactive underneath it, the Juicy Fruit, and the Color Me in there. So, and then we've got our blushes and highlighters and a couple of our powders back there. You're supposed to be up like that. And my bronzer palette is underneath there with more highlighters. So I think that's a really reasonable, drawer. I don't feel entirely overwhelmed, but I do feel challenged by it. That's what a good stash I think should be, is something that you're not going to look at and go, oh my God, and run away from, but are going to still feel like it's not too easy, and it's got a bit of a challenge for you to make sure that you use that stuff. This I'm hoping to get through very, very soon. They're real. I don't remember when I actually got these, so I'm going to be working on getting rid of those very, very much. I suspect they have to go out at least in the next 2 months at the most. So we're going to be working on that a lot. But other than that, I think that's a really good drawer. Alrighty, we're going to switch you back around again and sign off. Alright, so one of these days I hope to have a better camera setup so that it's not such a mess turning you around and holding the camera. I know I sometimes go off track and yeah, all that stuff. So I apologize for all that. For all the times you were looking off to the side and not in the drawer. I apologize for that greatly. Like I said, hopefully one day I'll have a proper setup that I can do that. For right now, I'm just glad that I'm getting a table. Anyway, what do you think about this month's choices? June's choices? Since I don't know if this is going up in May or June, but whenever it's going up, it's for June. It's not for May. Just to clarify that in case this goes up in May. Because God knows, so much stuff. But at any rate, what do you think about my choices for June? Let me know down below. Let me know again down below about whether or not you want to see me set up my new table. Clear out my mess. Got a ton of empty boxes back here too. I hang on to them in case I want to ship something. Of course, since then I've stopped doing contests because I can't afford to ship things. But I won't get rid of them. They're sturdy boxes. Do you know how hard it is to get a really sturdy box? Yeah, you got to pay for it usually. So I keep my boxes. That's it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, I hope you will subscribe. If you subscribe, so many ifs. If you subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. I currently upload 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday, but we do have bonus videos. We do indie brands. We were not doing them for a couple of months, and then we just started doing them again because retail therapy. Yeah. And now we're going to stop for another few months, and hopefully towards the end of the year, we will get back into it. But we do indie brand unboxings and reviews. And my son does his My Geek Box every month. That's on its way. And if you send anything, you don't have to, but if you send anything, that also tends to go up as a bonus video, if it's appropriate. I'm looking at the coffee mug. I have to be kind of careful about those things. Those gifts. Some of them have to be timed right. Anyway, and this year there will probably not be any garden videos at all, but you know, who knows if I actually manage to do tomatoes. But if I actually manage to do tomatoes, we will try to get some garden videos up. We'll see how it goes. I'm honestly not holding my breath. Most tomatoes are very hardy. I've noticed that they can get through almost anything, but the weather has just been so strange. Been beyond strange. Been very, very weird. Very, very weird. If you're part of my notification squad, you'll want to check both your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active. I don't foresee there to be any problems, but you never know. So go ahead and take a look. And if you choose not to subscribe, well, I would understand. There's a lot of YouTube. I ramble a lot. I have problems with making sure you see what you're supposed to be seeing. But this old dragon would love to see you back here again. So we do hope you will come back again. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. We have been steeping for a while. We are at the point now where I can actually hold the cup and hide the message. Really. I have no problem with talking about vaginas. I'm an old dragon, but, you know, I'm a modern dragon, too. It just was a very surprising coffee cup to get from my daughter. Anyway, let's get this a sip and get on our way. Yes, you get the ginger. It gives you like a little bit of spice on the back end. You get a bit, the front end of the sip is kind of odd. I'm trying to figure out what I'm tasting on the front end of the sip. Probably the rooibos and possibly the clove. it's not a tea that I would drink often by itself. I definitely much prefer this tea mixed in with a chocolate, because the chocolate, when it's mixed in with chocolate, it gives it almost, like I said earlier, that hot Mexican hot chocolate feel to it. It's not quite, but it can be a very, very good way to drink this particular tea. Alrighty, it's not a bad tea, just not one that I prefer to drink by itself. I like it in a mix. All right, so that's it. Hope you have a good one. Bye.